Hello, Star Citizens, and welcome to another. What is this show called? I don't know. This is one of those shows where it's Star Citizen Nightly, but this is another one of those shows where we are going to do some catching up because this show was supposed to be done yesterday, but I actually hopped on with Info Runners and did a show with them, and so I had to move some things around. But that was a fun show. Go check out Info Runners. If you don't know who Info Runners in, type it into YouTube. Go check those guys out. They always are streaming and they have really long conversations that are really in depth about the game. Both of them have been following the game longer than I have, and we had a really great conversation about ship packs, and I learned some things, which is why now I understand why everybody thought like my ship pack that I created in that video was super expensive. And I'm like, okay, I get it. Because I was trying to do the whole every ship you might ever need type of pack, because that's the type of pack that I would want to buy. But you got to think outside of your own mind and like, what do people actually want from a pack? Well, they want like all of the ships from this particular section, right? So like if I wanted a salvage pack, maybe I want a vulture, a reclaimer, and then a future, salvage vehicle that's maybe similar to the Rock or something like that. And then maybe I want the salvage, like a salvage mech suit when those come out, and then some armor that I don't know, that screams salvage, and then like a salvage tool. And that would be a pretty cool pack to like, put together for somebody who's just only interested in salvage or wants everything that there is to do with salvage. And then maybe you could do a medical pack, but I'm not gonna go into that. But the idea, I got some more ideas for some packs, so I'll probably drop some of those videos. I do use case videos, and I'll probably start adding those in, maybe just a pack idea every once in a while. Yeah, and that was a really fun conversation I had with Executing Algorithm. So go check that out on their page. I think it was like 45 minutes to an hour or something. I don't remember how long the video was, but yeah, really good conversation. All right, so let's hop in. We are actually going to go and we're going to go in and we're going to look at this week in Star Citizen, not a in-depth, stars like this week in Star Citizen. It's really obviously this is the This Week in Star Citizen, and then we got Whitley's Guide tomorrow doing the Anvil Carrack. So some information on the Anvil Carrack is going to be pretty cool. I haven't heard anything about it in a while. And then a roadmap update and roadmap roundup on Wednesday. They're going to talk about hangars and freight in Inside Star Citizen on Thursday. And then Star Citizen Live is back, and it's going to be game dev with John Griffiths. And then we get our RSI weekly newsletter. I was really hoping that we would have went wave 1 already, but it's taken a while. So I'm very interested in why we can't have wave 1. But I don't know if that's like we've just been waiting too long, or I'm just super excited for it. So I don't know. But I'm ready for wave 1, CIG. Like, we don't need everything in wave 1, but come on, open it up. All right. Then we have this. So this guy is just kind of making a joke. This is a reclaimer, and they filled it to the brim, with stuff to sell. I'm assuming this is RMC. It looks like RMC. And they're basically, and the dev here is just saying, is there such a thing as too much cargo? I myself always operate with the motto of if it fits, it sits. Having said that, that looks like a respectable haul. So be aware that if you ever fill it up this much and somebody comes for your life, you will be very upset if you don't make it there, or if you 30K out. Or if something just happens to where you can't sell it for some reason. So be careful when you're filling up with this much cargo, because there's that much more time that you will have wasted if you don't actually make it to your destination to sell it. But fortune favors the bold, friends. All right. So then we have the remember CitizenCon 2954. There's 179 volunteers apparently. I think they said they got 179. A few weeks ago, they said they had 179 volunteer applications. So they are going to be sending out the emails before the end of July. They're still reviewing those volunteer applications. So that's pretty cool. Glad to see that a lot of people are willing to volunteer, and it's not just a bunch of people going. I would volunteer, but at the same time, I realize that I'm going to have to kind of work while I'm there anyway. Like I'm gonna have to, I probably won't be streaming after conversation with the info runners. I'm realizing streaming is gonna be pretty tough. So I'll probably just be, I think you'll probably want to go and follow my Instagram because I'll be posting a lot of pictures with pretty much everybody that's willing to take one with me. I'll be posting a lot of pictures on there. Then this is probably when I'll get into my shorts game. I'll probably be posting a lot of shorts because those are much easier. Like I can like record them. I can record them, just keep them on my phone. I don't need to like have a whole bunch of, editing done or anything like that. And then I'll post the shorts, and then I'll record with my phone when I'm like, I'll set up, use my actual camera and set certain stuff up at CitizenCon, and that'll be like if I'm, I go to maybe like the Seoul citizens have like a booth or something, and I'm talking to them, and I'll set up the camera up and talk to them, record that, and then upload it later. Some stuff won't be uploaded while I'm there. A lot of stuff actually won't. Mostly what I'm going to try to keep it to is like a lot of YouTube shorts that I think I have a TikTok too. So I'll put them on TikTok too. And like putting a bunch of shorts up just so you can kind of see what's going on, like what it's like to be at CitizenCon. But yeah, I don't want to like be doing that work and add volunteering to it because I also don't want those two things to conflict. Like if they were to say, hey, we need all the volunteers to do A, B, and C, and I'm like filming a video, with somebody, and now I have to choose, like, am I going to go volunteer over here or am I going to do this? So yeah, I don't want those to conflict. So yeah, but maybe next time, maybe when I'm not paying a metric ton of money to fly over to CitizenCon. So next time you do it in like Montreal or LA, maybe I'll volunteer. So news on the SRV. Basically, I haven't actually tried to quantum with the SRV. I'm assuming that that's not working right now. But you will be able to quantum travel with the SRV, and they're basically saying they will keep us updated as soon as they have more information, but there's a bug where you can't do it. So yeah, I guess they're working on it, and that's pretty much all they have to say about that. They wanted there was a question here about why rec is so expensive, stuff you earn in Arena Commander. Rec prices are linked to the PU price, which was recently increased, while rec income remained the same. We're hoping to make adjustments for the next major release. So I'm hoping that next major release means 3.24, because that is kind of weird. If you're gonna link those two things, then you should also link the income. You should link the income that you get from Arena Commander to the income that you get outside of Arena Commander in the PU. Then you never have to keep going back in to change both, or just keep them separate, and then you don't have to worry about that. So why link one thing without linking the other? Or why, it just doesn't make sense. And moving on, regarding this week's roadmap roundup, basically somebody was like, hey, why don't you just say things are on track and are not on track? And basically saying, there's no reason to put, and the main one is saying there's no need to say we're going to have a roadmap roundup just to get to the roadmap roundup, and then it says there's nothing to report. They didn't really answer that one, but they did answer the, is things on track? Basically, it says, if you haven't checked out our monthly reports, you should. They have this info along with some visuals. It's just every 4 weeks instead of every 2. So they do often say in those monthly reports that things are on track or not on track, but it's not holistic. And I think that's kind of what this person was getting at, is they kind of want, instead of getting there's nothing to report, they want there to be something there every single time. Like you could just say, this week we were working on A, B, and C, and everything went as planned, or we were working on A, B, and C, and we had an issue with A, B, and C. So I think they're just saying, you could put a little bit more effort into the This Week in Star Citizen stuff and the little weekly reports to make sure that there's something in every weekly report, because there's always something. Unless you took the 2 weeks off or the week off, generally there's always something to report. Something got done, or something was held back, or something's on track. That's That's all they're asking for. Don't think it's a lot to ask for, so I hope they fix that. And this one, so I'm gonna read this one. So if you already know, there was a huge jump point video, which I think was one of the hugest videos, hugest is hugest a word? I'm pretty sure hugest is a word. So it was a very huge jump point video that they did last week, and it really is it made a lot of people have a lot of questions, and brought up more questions than it answered, so to speak. So they kind of went in here to kind of say, hey, here's some answers to some questions, to help people with that. So I'll just read it. Jump points is a big feature. There is a lot going on in the design, more than could be communicated in one ISC. So there are some bits of info that I realized afterwards that we managed to gloss over, and some of these seem to have caused a lot of speculation controversies. So I'd like to attempt to rectify some of these and clarify some others. Transient jump points do not have or use ATCs. Transient jump points are free for all experiences. You align, tune, and then activate the jump point and then are pulled in. As you can see from transient jump points, the inclusion of ATC is the permanent jump point flow is not a technical requirement needed for transitioning players between systems or anything like that. They are part of the flow solely for gameplay reasons. The ATC exists here for fairness to all jumpers, a fairness intentionally omitted in the transient flow. The permanent jump points will likely be busy high volume routes. We don't want slower ships being trumped to jump by faster ships all the time. We also want to make sure we protect those ships who have waited and determine who is at fault for doing something obstructive. ATC will help us do this. Additionally, the ATC exists to imply and actually impose some level of decision-making on those who choose to skirt the law or play outright criminally. Those players may instead choose or have to seek out transient jump points to make their journeys in order to avoid this extra security. I also want to clarify how ATC also makes sense as part of a bigger picture. Think of permanent jump points as known controlled border checkpoints between systems. If you were the UEE authority in charge of protecting a system, like Stanton from lawless systems that you border with, like Pyro, would you operate and open borders with them? I don't think you would. You'd find a way to control it. In this sense, ATC is being used as the gatekeeper. How does it do that? I see you all asking. If ATC hasn't granted you permission to jump yet, then by default, they actively jam jump drives from tuning. Once you have permission to jump, they selectively choose to stop jamming your jump drive, which then lets you tune and jump. Simple. They also needed to clarify this statement about shooting of the jump point as they worded it, and it was seemingly incorrect. There is no error in the footage in the ISC episode, and what you see is not a gun shooting the jump point to activate it. This is the VFX we have at the moment, which basically is just saying, I'm not going to read all that. It's not necessary. It's just an effect that comes from the jump drive, but it comes from the front of the ship, so it looks like a projectile coming from a weapon, but it doesn't actually come from a weapon, and you will not actually have to shoot these jump points. And that's pretty much it. That's what they are trying to clarify on jump points. I'm glad they did some clarification. There's still a lot of questions out there. They should have just did a Q&A. Hopefully there's a Q&A incoming. Maybe they just ask that. I know they schedule their Star Citizen lives ahead of time, so it wouldn't really make sense to do a Star Citizen live about it, but they could just do a Q&A that they can release onto the website. I think this would be a great time to do that. So CIG, if you're watching, please do a Q&A on jump points. I think you could, maybe just answer the top 20 questions. I think that would suffice. And yeah, just do it the way you do Star Citizen Live, except just post it on to Spectrum. But yeah, that is it for Star Citizen Nightly today. I will be releasing some ship reviews tomorrow. Schedule got a little messed up this week, but it's getting back on track. So I'm trying to do at least two ship reviews. Some of them might be vehicles, 2 vehicles or 2 ship reviews every day for the rest of this week to try to get that done. I think the only exception might be Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday because I have a D&D thing. Yes, I play D&D. If you didn't know, I play it. And it is fun, and you should try it because it's really awesome, and they're changing the rules this year, so it's going to be cool. And yeah, so little known fact about me. So I'm playing D&D on Wednesday, so you might only get 1 on Wednesday, but I'm still going to try to get 2. And then on Thursday, I'm going to see Deadpool versus Wolverine, or not versus Wolverine, Deadpool and Wolverine. So I don't know how much time I'll have, but I'll still try to get 2 out on those days. But if you don't see 2 on Wednesday and Thursday, now you know why. All right, that's it for this one. I will see you in the next one. Thanks for spending your time with us. Peace.